everybody. I am out. It is Sunday, January 22nd. I did a little curbside hunting yesterday. I only really found one good thing, so I'll probably combine that with this hunt. But I got an invite last night to join up with some people, so I am going to do that today. It's rainy out, and I'm going to have kind of a training day with my new snake coil. Things I find in this particular area aren't typically deep, but it's also not a crowded area, so it'll just be a training day. Alright, I hope that goes well, and hopefully I'll be back with some finds. See you later. Hello everybody. I've been out for probably a good hour this morning doing a curb strip, and so far just trash and a nearby leaf blower, so I haven't filmed much at all. But I just flipped out this, and I think we have a token. Yes, tax token. Let's see here. Oh, it says something half on it. 2.5 trade. Try and rub it up a bit here. Well, that's one side of it. I'm going to have to clean it more at home. I see wash on it. And then good for 2.5 in trade. So I'm excited to clean that one up later. I'll be back. Hello, got my first good signal for the morning. I'm around in the hole here. Ooh, I don't know what this is. Very light. This is going to be some type of a token. I think I can see a good luck in the middle there. Let's see if we can't clean it up. Let's try and rub that a bit more. Alright, I've had one of these before. They have a flag on the back, and then they say good luck on this side. I can't remember if they say anything else, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, excellent. See you at the next. Alright, I got another little goodie here. I'm pretty sure I know what this one is. A bridal rosette. Got that curve shape to it. Alright, on to the next. Alright, I've got something that feels a little bit different. I don't think it's a nail. Oh, it's too light. Ah! Yeah. What may be a modern pen, might be an old pen. It's at least green. Maybe it's military. Suppose they had military issued pens. Well, I will clean that up. Oh, and hey, it works for a scavenger hunt. Awesome. Hello. You can see I just kind of peeled back a little layer of moss here, and I have what I believe is a belt buckle, but it's definitely iron or something more rusty and maybe older. So I'll have to pop that into my electrolysis and see if we can't get any details off of it. Alright, hope to see you later. Oh, it's starting to get sloppy muddy out here, but I just found a lock. Always like finding these. See if you see any words on this one. Oh, there's definitely going to be something there. I'll have to clean it up. Maybe Yale, which I actually found a Yale key just a while ago. Maybe they go together. Alright, we'll see. Alright, I am in under a fern. I just scraped away the top, and you can see this here. It's an awful pretty color, so let's hope. Let's see what we have. Oh, that is wings and an S. Let me get out my foo-foo. Looks pretty. Looks like it still has the pin piece on the back. Might need more water than I have. Oh, sorry. I don't see any marking yet. We will get this cleaned up. This is gorgeous. And figure out what it means also. Alright, I'll be back with you. Hello everybody, I have my wrap up from the third week of January 2017. Spent a couple of hours in the middle of a downtown area doing a curb strip. I got about $1.50 in change, and that was me being pretty selective with the 2-inch penny signals. Lots of random bits of metal. Got this little tag thing. Nothing on it really makes sense for me to be able to figure anything out though. Some hose bits, just chunks of lead, a bic, hinge, this pottery piece, kind of a pretty green at least. And the two good things. This little tiny, I had no idea what it was till I got it home, but it is glass fronted, and you can see in the background it is 2 palm trees in a lagoon-like setting. Now, it's not really a button, it was probably stuck to something, so I thought that was interesting, and it's just super tiny. And then I got this token, and this token is for Stusser Brothers Cigar Store, 4100 Commerce Street, Tacoma, Washington. It is good for 2.5 cents in trade. So I went online, did some research. Token Catalog has this token listed, as well as I think a 6.5 cents in trade token. No pictures, no other information. The only other reference I could find to Stusser Brothers Cigar Store in Tacoma, Washington was in a publication called The Tobacco Leaf, congratulating them on opening the store, and it was from 1905. So this has got to be a pretty old token, and all things considered, it's not in that bad a shape. So early 1900s. This one, I was absolutely thrilled when I cleaned it up and figured out what I had. Then today I was invited out with some people for the military area, so got cartridge shells as per usual. And these little 22 ones absolutely can drive you bonkers. They are getting stuck in the trunks of trees. They haven't been shot there, it's the cartridge shells, not the projectile. So just as the trees are growing up, they're somehow stuck. I find it all the time, but you get this great signal in the ground, and you're focused on the ground, and eventually you look up and find that it's stuck in the tree above your coil. I'll try to give video of that sometime. It's a little frustrating. A couple other just little odds and ends. That snake coil, for first time I had it out, and not an area you'd necessarily typically use it, but it was definitely a quieter day. I wasn't getting all the deep iron signals, so my head wasn't quite ringing constantly. But it did great, and it actually got way more depth than I expected in the foresty loam soil. There were some that were heading towards 6, 7, even 8 inches at times, so I was really happy with it, able to get under ferns nicely and up along tree roots, so I'll probably use that more. I got this buckle, very corroded, also pretty complicated looking one. I'll probably throw this in the electrolysis tank, and if it comes out nice, I'll show you later. I got this, which I referred to when I pulled it out as a bridle rosette, and it does look like a bridle rosette. I've pulled a couple of these out, but as I think about it, for that area, they did have cavalry there, but not later. The big action of the fort, there wasn't cavalry there. So I feel like I've pulled out too many of them for them to actually be a bridle rosette. So I'm guessing it's something else, and I've looked at uniforms, I've been trying to learn more about the things I might be finding, and I have yet to figure this out. So if anybody knows what it is, let me know. It doesn't appear to be the parts of the collar disc. I have flat ones that are around that are parts of the collar disc assemblies, but this one is, and I've got 3 or 4, like I said, that are these domed, concave ones. So I'll keep trying to figure that out. I got this Yale lock, which looks like it was lost in a gravel pit and run over several times. Wasn't found in a gravel pit, but yeah, who knows what its history is. And right before I found that, I found this Yale key. I didn't film the keys because it was just a downpour when I was finding them. I did try, and these are not a match set. So, found this other key, a little tiny one. It says Cat 24 on it. I got this good luck token that you saw me pull out, and I think this is my second one. Another 1940s from a stamping machine. I've seen examples where they have the cities and states around the edge, but both of them might have been plain, and hopefully they bring some good luck. I got this mechanical pencil. It's got a weird bend to it. I assume it's Army issued since it's golden green. Quite like it. I have a pen also I've pulled out of there before, fountain pen, so maybe it's a set. But I like it, and it goes towards my club scavenger hunt, so that's great. I then eyeballed this Fanta bottle, which I thought would be older. I grabbed it because it's intact and it looked old. And then I did my research on Fanta, and Fanta really wasn't available in the US until 1960. Coke bought it in 1955, and there are numbers on the bottom, although they're extremely faint. One looks like maybe 2 A's or 44, but it can't be from 44, so it's upside down, but that's the 70, so I think it's the 1970s. I still like it. I like the older design to it. And the reason I eyeballed that was I was getting some signals under a fern, and I pulled out a couple of things that was one of those, I got more excited as I cleaned it and I realized what I had. I don't know how many of these pieces go together. I'm not sure if this is part of it, but they were all found in the same hole. So this big cap, which is a screw cap, threaded, it almost looks more like a pipe end to me. So this may have nothing to do with the rest. And then this, it looks familiar in shape. I don't really know what it could be, but that was in the hole. I got this, which kind of has this papery portion to it, and then there's something that's almost rubbery that's kind of flaking off, and it's just the middle portion that's the metal, and that's why I was signaling on it. But I'm quite certain that that goes with this little piece, which is what, one, I can't believe it survived even in my bag to get here. These are loose now, but if I can get this to focus, this is a rubber stamp, and it is May 11th, 1945. And that, I think, is the pad that it would have either rested against when it was in the unstamping position. Yeah, it would have been in the unstamping position. So I think this rolled up and rested against this piece. But this is absolutely, this stamp was, the last thing it stamped was for May 11th, 1945. So I'm just absolutely thrilled with this. I looked up May 11th, 1945, and on that day, the USS Bunker Hill was hit by 2 kamikaze pilots, 372 dead, and that was the USS Bunker was supporting the operations on Okinawa. So that is what happened in the military that day. My last find, which you saw me pull out, was this gorgeous set of wings with the S. I did, unfortunately, kind of bumble it and broke the pin, but you couldn't see it because I was trying to get it clean. It is sterling. I just absolutely love this. I did the research on it, and it is from the U.S. Army Air Corps. It is a service pilot set of wings, and so the service pilots were actually awarded their wings based on civilian pilot skills. So they might have been a bush pilot or some other type of transportation pilot. who were then drafted, and they went into the service pilots. They did Army transportations, tows for gliders, so there's a version of these that have a G on it for glider pilots. That type of more, they weren't fighter pilots, they were service pilots, so I now know all of that, and I have this gorgeous set of, it's nice, it's thick, it's heavy, of wings to go with my collection. So that was my weekend. I hope you all got out there and dug some great things and enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week. Bye.